Are you working hard, or are you working smart? And what if I told you that the smartest, most powerful work you will ever do happens in complete silence, with no physical effort at all? What if the grand design for your life isn't something you have to chase, but something you simply have to program? Today, we're exploring a principle so fundamental that it can change everything. It starts with this. Your mind is a supercomputer, and like any computer, its output is entirely determined by its input. That's the whole story. The reality you experience is the direct result of the programs running in your mind. The problem, most of us are running on outdated, borrowed software. We've inherited programs from our parents, absorbed them from society, and downloaded them unconsciously from the media we consume. These programs dictate our limits, our fears, our expectations. They're the silent code running in the background, telling us what we can and cannot achieve. But today, you become the master programmer. Today, you take back the keyboard. Think of the universe not as random, but as responsive. It's constantly listening, but not to your words. It's responding to your frequency. And your frequency is set by your dominant, repeated thoughts, your beliefs. Where do those beliefs come from? They come from the inputs you allow every single day. The news you scroll through before bed, the conversations you participate in at work, the doubts you entertain when you're alone. Each one is a line of code being written into your subconscious. This isn't a hobby. This isn't something you do when you have a spare moment. This is the foundational principle of your life. Managing your mental inputs is your primary job. It is more important than your to-do list, more important than your inbox, more important than any urgent task screaming for your attention. Why? Because the quality of your inner world dictates the quality of your outer world. I learned this the hard way. For years, I treated this mind stuff as an afterthought. I was all about action, hustle, and grinding it out. I thought if I just worked harder, pushed more, forced things to happen, I would eventually get where I wanted to go. But my life stayed pretty much the same. I'd have small wins, but the underlying patterns of stress, struggle, and limitation kept repeating. It was like being on a hamster wheel, running faster and faster but never actually changing my location. The moment I stopped, took a breath, and made managing my inner world my absolute priority, everything began to shift. It wasn't an overnight miracle, but it was a profound and steady transformation. It was like I'd been trying to build a skyscraper on a foundation of sand, and I finally decided to pour the concrete first. Because when you run a good program, good things don't happen by chance. They happen by law. The law of cause and effect. The input determines the output. Now, let's make this real. An unwanted event occurs. Let's say that dreaded check engine light comes on in your car. Or maybe you get an unexpected, vaguely worded email from your boss on a Friday afternoon. What's the typical reaction? It's what I call the action trap. Immediately, the mind scrambles. What do I do? Who can I call? How much is this going to cost? Am I in trouble? We get frantic, focusing all our energy on the effect, the external problem. We're immediately sucked into the drama of the situation. But the master programmer's response is different. The same event occurs, a light comes on, the email arrives, but first, there's a pause, a conscious, deliberate pause, a deep breath. They understand. This external event is just an output. It's a symptom. The real work isn't to frantically fix the symptom. It's to change the underlying code. So instead of scrambling, their first job is to control their thoughts. They don't let their minds spiral into worst-case scenarios. They deliberately disconnect from the initial wave of panic. Maybe they go for a short walk. Maybe they put on a piece of music that makes them feel powerful and centered. Maybe they just close their eyes for 60 seconds and focus on their breathing. They do whatever it takes to shift their mental frequency away from the problem and back to a state of peace and power. Why is this so much more powerful? Think of it like a radio. You can't tune into a peaceful, classical station if your dial is set to chaotic static. You have to change your frequency first. From a state of panic, you will only create more panicked solutions. You'll make hasty decisions, say things you regret, and attract more circumstances that match your chaotic energy. But from a state of clarity and calm, inspired action becomes effortless. The right solution appears. The right person to call comes to mind. The perfect response to that email flows naturally. You're no longer fighting against the current. You're flowing with it. So the choice in every single moment is this. Do you react to the world, or do you create it? Do you let external events dictate your internal state, or do you let your internal state dictate your response to external events? This is the fundamental choice between being a victim of your circumstances and being the architect of your reality. This is where your work begins. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you have more time. It begins right now. In this very moment. So for the next 24 hours, I challenge you to do one thing. Become a ruthless gatekeeper of your mind. Consciously choose your inputs. Unfollow social media accounts that make you feel inadequate or anxious. Turn off the news, just for a day. When a coworker starts complaining, politely excuse yourself or change the subject. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong today, talk about something you're looking forward to. For just one day, feed your mind only what you want to grow. Feed it with inspiration, with gratitude, with possibility. Read a chapter from an uplifting book. Listen to a podcast that expands your mind. Have a conversation with someone that leaves you feeling energized and hopeful. This small step is the beginning of taking back control. It's you, sitting down at the keyboard of your mind and beginning to write a new program. A program for success, for peace, for abundance, for joy. This is the most important work you will ever do. It's the work that happens before the work. It's the secret behind every great achievement and every fulfilled life. You are the programmer. Your reality is the program. Start coding the life you truly desire, one thought at a time. Now, we are going to master the art of visualization. When I say visualization, I'm not talking about idle daydreaming. This is the active, focused work of an architect. This is the primary task of creation. Your job is to see a future reality so clearly in your mind that it becomes the dominant signal you send out. So, how do you do it? First, focus only on the end result. Forget the how. The how is the universe's job. If you want a more fulfilling career, don't get lost in resumes and interviews. Go straight to the feeling of waking up on a Monday morning, excited to start your work. And now, you engage every single sense. This is the secret. Don't just see it. Experience it. Think about that fulfilling career. What do you see? Your organized, inspiring workspace. The smiling faces of colleagues you respect. What do you hear? The sound of positive feedback. The satisfying click of a keyboard as you finish a project you're proud of. What do you feel? The feeling of confidence when walking into a meeting. The lack of that Sunday night dread. The deep sense of purpose in your gut. Engaging your senses makes the experience real to your mind. But the final key, the ingredient that provides the power, is emotion. You must feel the feelings of having it now. And this must come from a place of worthiness, not desperate longing. Feel the genuine joy. Feel the profound gratitude. Feel the deep calming peace, as if it is already your reality. Because in the world of thought and energy, it already is. What if you struggle with creating a mental picture? Use your words. Narrate the scene to yourself. Talking can build the image for you. Right now, pick one small thing you want. A great night's sleep tonight. A delicious, healthy meal. A positive conversation with someone. Close your eyes for just 60 seconds and walk through the 5 senses of that experience. See it. Hear it. Smell it. Taste it. Feel it. And most importantly, feel the gratitude for it as if it just happened. Practice this on small things, and you'll build the mental muscle for the big things. So far, we've learned to become the master programmer of our minds and how to use visualization as the blueprint for our reality. We've practiced with the small things, but the question remains, can this truly work for the big things? And if it's so powerful, why do we resist it? Today, we answer those questions and prove that you are profoundly closer to your dreams than you've ever imagined. There's a beautiful mechanism at play. When you dedicate yourself to this mental work, your goal starts moving towards you. Imagine the distance is 1,000 steps. When you only use physical struggle, you have to take all 1,000. But when you align your mind first, the universe takes 998 of those steps for you. All you need to do is take the final. Inspired too. So why do we doubt this power? Because we are all conditioned with an old, broken program that tells us success must equal struggle. Think about it. We are taught to admire the person who worked themselves to the bone. We're told that to achieve anything great, we must suffer for it. This belief is our biggest roadblock. So when we're presented with a path that is about joy, alignment, and ease, our old programming screams, this is too easy. It can't be real. It feels more comfortable to struggle because it feels more familiar. But you can overwrite that program. Take out a piece of paper. At the top, write down your biggest goal. Now, underneath, honestly answer this question. What do I believe has to happen for me to achieve this? Do I have to struggle, suffer, sacrifice my well-being? Look at that belief. Is it truly yours? Or is it a program you borrowed? Now, write a new belief next to it. Success can come to me with joy. I can achieve my goal with ease and inspiration. Just writing it down begins the process of installing the new code. Every time you choose to feel good now, every time you choose to visualize your success instead of your struggle, you are installing that new, powerful program. You are proving that creation doesn't have to be a battle. It can be a joyful unfolding. Your life is a masterpiece waiting to be created. Your mind is the architect, and your ability to feel your dream before it arrives is the blueprint. The power was never out there. It has been inside you all along. The only question is, what will you choose to create?